everyone and welcome back to week 3 of CleverPatch Crafternoons. How did everyone go with their baskets last week? I hope you had as much fun making them as I did, and hopefully on Sunday you got to fill them to the brim with all the Easter eggs. This week we're taking some inspiration from the rainbow trails that we've seen popping up all over social media and hopefully around your community at home. We're going to be making a rainbow love heart bunting, much like this one behind me. And basically I will show you how to make these cute little hearts out of cardboard or paper, whichever you've got on hand. And then we'll string them up and you can hang them in your windows for those rainy days when maybe the lovely chalk drawings have washed away. You can still give people a bit of a smile as they walk past your house. So what we're going to need for this week's project is a ruler, sticky tape, a stapler, scissors, glue stick, hole punch, a pencil, some string for hanging the bunting, and most importantly we're going to need 6 sheets of A4 paper in 6 different colours. So again, if all you've got at home is your white paper, that's totally fine. It just means maybe you can do some colouring in beforehand. Alrighty, let's get started. So what we're going to need first is some strips of paper. What we want to do is take all of our 6 colours and we're going to cut them into long strips 3 centimetres wide. So we'll start with the first piece. We just want to make our 3 centimetre markings along the short edge. 9, 12, you can practice your 3 times tables while you're at it. And the other end too. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Now we simply join those marks. Again, if you're using white paper, you could get creative. You don't have to have just the one plain colour. You might want to make some multicoloured rainbows. It's completely up to you. Okay, so there's our paper divided up, and now we just need to cut the strips. When you're using scissors, we recommend adult supervision. We don't want any little accidents happening to any little fingers. Alright, so there's your first strip of colour. I've gone through and I've already cut a bunch of strips ready. So we'll just make sure we have one of each colour. And we can get started. What you want to do first is fold each of your strips in half. So just bring the short end to end and crease. Once they're all folded, you're going to want to keep 2 of the strips as they are. I'm choosing the red and the purple. The red's going to be the outside of my love heart and the purple is going to be the center kind of strip that we use to hang the love heart from the bunting. With the other 4, I'm going to trim each of them slightly, and what I want to do is make each of them slightly shorter than the other. So with the yellow, I'm going to take 2 centimeters from the top, just put put a little mark there. The green, I'm going to take 4. The blue, I'm going to take 6. And the pink, I'm going to take 7.5. So now I've got my marks, I can just trim them off the top there. These little bits of paper, make sure you keep those because we will use them later. They'll just become some nice confetti, I guess, that we can decorate our bunting with for the gaps in between our hearts. So now what we have is some nice strips of paper that can nest within one another. So if you just nest them all together like that. And for the purple, which is going to be our piece of paper for hanging, I'm going to actually glue it shut. This just makes it a bit more sturdy and solid for hanging. So just a quick little bit of glue stick and fold him shut. I'm going to take what was the open end and push it down into the center of the nested strips. To hold all these in place, I'm just going to use a stapler. And what you want to do is staple at the bottom, but not so close to the bottom that you're missing these ones on the inside. So push it down nice and tight. Make sure he's stapled. And there you go. Now to make the love heart, we'll start from the outside, taking the red strip, bringing it to the end of the yellow, down to the green, blue, and then the pink. Now they're a bit slippery and they're going to want to pop out, but you just pinch them all in place. Grab your stapler and staple to hold them down. So now it looks a bit like that. We're going to do the same thing from the other side. Lining up the ends as we go. Making sure they don't pop out. Slippery bits of paper. There we go. That actually looks pretty cute as it is, but to make your love heart, we're basically just going to take the stapled ends and bend them down along that centerpiece to create a heart. Now that's holding as it is, but I do like to put some tape in there to make sure it does stay in place. So just grab a small piece of tape, tuck it down in there, fold it over and pinch it together. Same from the other side. Just makes it a bit sturdier, and that way you know it's not going to pop open in your window. Okay, so it's as simple as that for your love heart. Now all we need to do is, I'm going to trim this top bit. You don't necessarily have to if you want to hang down nice and low. I'm going to give it a bit of a trim. Take about 4 centimeters off there. Get my hole punch. Punch a hole in the top, and it's now ready to hang. So what you'll need to do is make as many of these hearts as you wish. You might have a really large window and need to make lots of them. I've made a few already. And what you can do is just grab some string or wool or thread, some twine, whatever you might have at home. I've just got some bright green wool here, of which I cannot find the end. There we go. And to make your bunting, all you need to do is thread your heart on, and then remember about the pieces that we discarded from the first step. Well, what we need to do now is pop a hole in these. We can trim them down even more if they're a bit big. Pop some holes in them, and then we just thread these along the string as well. Just gives a little bit extra rainbow to your design, really. So go ahead and thread those along, and then your bunting will be ready to hang in your window. Alright, so that's another week done of CleverPatch Crafternoons. Hope you've had a great time making your bunting. Be sure to chuck it up in your window, take a photo, share it with us on social media. We love seeing what you guys are doing at home, and I'm sure the people in the street will appreciate the rainbows they see walking by your house. Keep up the good work with the rainbows. I know lots of you are out there brightening up your communities. It's always great to see. If you are in need of some more craft ideas or after some craft products, we are still open and shipping, so be sure to head to cleverpatch.com.au. Have a look around, and hopefully we'll be able to help you out with any of your needs. Thanks again for watching, and until next week, happy crafting!